Welcome to the session today. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
I will say.
yes, you do.
Ah, great. Thanks for confirming. I hope you guys are able to see my screen as well. So let us start this session, everyone. So this is going to be our very first demo session for the data engineering with the Google Cloud Platform. I hope you all able to see me and able to hear me clearly, right? Yes. Thanks for joining today. So this is our very first demo session, guys, with for the course Data Engineering with the Google Cloud Platform. In this session, we are going to talk about some of the things, very important things about what is actually the data engineering. The very first topic that we are going to talk about today, that is what is data engineering? What is the role of a data engineer? What is the role of a data engineer, and what are the skills if you guys wanted to become a data engineer? We are going to talk about it today. So that's the very first topic that we are going to see, because we wanted to become a data engineer, right? So if you guys wanted to become a data engineer, first we will try to see what is data engineering. Then after that we will talk about the Google Cloud Platform. What is this Google Cloud Platform? How it is different from the Azure Cloud Platform and AWS platforms. And we will talk about that as well. And what is the Google Cloud Platform and benefits of using the Google Cloud Platform over the other cloud platforms also, we will talk about it here. And after that, most of the people may be waiting for this one, that is detailed course curriculum. So we will talk about the detailed course curriculum. What are the topics that we are going to cover as a part of this course, and what is the duration of the course, and all the course details, timings, and everything. We will talk about it in these 4 chapters today. So this is the agenda for today's session, guys. So this is the agenda for today's session, where we are going to talk about what is data engineering first, then Google Cloud Platform, then detailed course curriculum, and the course details, right? So before we, so there are some people may be having some of the questions also, right, sir? Like, how would I get a job from this course, right? How this course will be helpful for me to get the job, and how to manage my current experience, right? So you may be having a question that, sir, how to manage my current experience? Some of the people does not know cloud at all. Sir, I do not know the cloud at all. Sir, how can I be able to learn it? Or I'm coming from a another background, I'm coming from a non-IT background, or I'm coming from an IT support background. Sir, is it possible for me to become a data engineering with this course, right? So all of those questions, by the end of the session, we are going to see all of these questions. I'm going to answer it with a very simple term, so that you will be able to understand. By the end of the session, we will be having the each and every understanding of what is data engineering, how this course will be very useful for you to land in a dream job into the IT. So that is what we are going to talk about it. All right, so that's what. Before we enter into our very first topic, what is data engineering? So let me gonna tell you about myself, guys. So maybe some of you know about me, that my name is Sheikh Saidhul, guys. I'm currently working as a full-time SDE. I'm not SDE now. I'm actually the solution architect. I'm currently working as a solution architect at Quantech. I'm also a consultant at Databricks. I'm working in two. So I'm a solution architect at Quantech. I'm also a consultant at Databricks, that I can say. Coming to my education, I have completed my master's degree from NIT Trichy, National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. And I do have more than 8 years of experience into the data and AI field. And coming to my certifications, I've done many certifications, guys. GCP, Azure, AWS, Databricks, Python, Terraform, many other certifications also I do have. So this is all about me, guys. Right? So Sheikh Saidul, coming to my training experience, this particular GCP data engineering, I've been teaching it from last 2.5 years. When I started teaching the GCP data engineering, no one was there, right? So in Hyderabad, I've started teaching this GCP data engineering 2.5 years back. I'm the very old with a very good experience on the GCP data engineering. More than 800 people we have personally placed. So if you look at it in GCP data engineers in India, out of 1,000 people, GCP data engineers, 800 plus are my students only. I'm going to tell confidently that more than 800 plus out of 1000 students of out of 1000 GCP data engineers, 800 plus data engineers are mine only. I would say that confidently. Right. So this is a track record of mine. So my name is Sheikh Saidhul. Just remember me as a Sheikh Saidhul, guys. Yes. And now let us start. What is data engineering? Now I wanted to hear from you. If anyone knows what is data engineering, can you guys tell me? Anyone? Please tell me what is data engineering. Hmm.
It's something like
Okay.
data analyzing
Yeah.
and engineering, or I
Yes.
mean architecting.
Okay. Yes. Correct. Exactly. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So I hear many answers from you guys that what is data engineering. Let me gonna make it very simple. There are few people know about data engineering. There are more people no don't know about the data engineering. Let me gonna tell you guys first. So data engineering is very simple. So you may be having a data. For example, you wake up in the morning, you wanted to order a breakfast. The moment you wanted to order a breakfast, you go to one application called Swiggy, or you go to a Zomato, you order a breakfast. The moment you interact with any application, maybe for ordering the breakfast, or maybe traveling from one location to another location via Uber or Ola, right? What do? We interact with an applications, or maybe ordering some product from the Amazon or Flipkart. The moment you interact with an application, that's where the data is getting generated. So that means you have a data that is coming from some applications, right? Some companies, they store the data in the form of a files, right? So you have a data that is in the form of a CSV file, or a JSON file, or a Parquet file, or a Avro file. So the data may come from application, the data may coming from the file formats, the data may be coming from some databases, right? Some companies store the data in the form of a databases in the tabular format. It could be a CSV file, sorry, it could be a tabular format like MySQL databases, SQL Server databases, PostgreSQL databases, right? So you have a data that is coming from databases in the form of a tabular format. You have a data nowadays coming from some IoT devices such as sensor devices also, right? So these are all the data sources. When you are working for a company, that company's data may be coming from some application, that company's data may come from some files, or maybe coming from some databases, or maybe it's coming from some IoT devices or a sensor devices, right? So you have a plenty of the data coming from these multiple data sources. The very first thing as a data engineer we do is that we extract this data from these things and we store it here. What do, sir? We extract the data from these multiple data sources, and we try to collect the data and store the data into one of the location called a data lake nowadays. Sir, what is a data lake? A data lake is a centralized large repository to store your entire data in the raw format. We will talk about data lake later, but data lake is one of the location where we store the entire data, right? So we extract the data from these multiple data sources. We have a multiple data sources, we extract from here, we are going to store into one of the location called a data lake to store it in the form of a raw format. Now tell me, so now once I have the data with me, can I directly go for the analysis? Can we directly go for the analysis?
No.
Right. So why we need the data? First thing, can you tell me, sir, why is this data needed from me? We are storing the data. Why do we have to store this data? Anyone, any question, anyone can answer it. Mhm. Exactly. Processing, exactly. Analyzing, exactly. Right. So the thing is that the companies, the business managers, the company owners, they wanted to understand this data so that they can take this data a better decision making purpose, right? So whatever the data that you have, sir, I have a data that is here, the entire data is here. So if I try to understand this data, if I try to understand this data or analyze this data gives me some kind of a information or a insight. Those information is very useful for the business improvement. That data is very useful for my business improvement. So as a data engineer, what do we have to do, sir? We have to make ourselves to work on this particular perspective. So we have to store the data, we have to process the data, we have to analyze the data, so that whatever the activities that you do, it will be useful for the business improvement. Right, sir? Whatever the activities that you do, it will be very useful for the business improvement. So that's the reason, the moment you have the data that is coming from the multiple data sources, so you have a data sources here, you extract it and you are going to store it here. The moment you store it here, we cannot directly go for the analysis. Why, sir? Because this is a raw data. Because, sir, this is a raw data. This raw data may contain some kind of a issues, right? It may contain a duplicates, it may contain a null values. It may contain a bad records. It may contain a unnecessary information. Right, sir? So this data, this is a raw data which is directly coming from the data sources. So this data may be having duplicates, maybe having some kind of a null values, may have some bad records, may have a unnecessary information also. So I cannot directly go for analyzing the data. I cannot directly understand this data. If I try to analyze this data, the results will be inaccurate, because these are the problems with the data. We have issues with the data. So that's the reason, the very first next step we do is that data processing. Right, sir? We store the data, then we try to process the data. We try to do what, sir? We try to process the data. So in data processing, we are going to handle all of these issues here. We are going to handle all of these issues. We are going to remove the duplicates. We are going to handle the null values. We will remove the bad records. We will remove the unnecessary information. We are going to handle all of these issues in the data processing using different big data frameworks nowadays. So such as big data frameworks such as PySpark or pandas or different frameworks are there. We are going to use those frameworks to process the data properly. All right, so you have a data, you store the data, you process the data. Once you process the data, we can analyze the data, sir. We can analyze the data, so you can do the analysis in a data warehouse. So what do we do? Once you process the data, you store this data into the data warehouses. A data warehouse is a large repository where your entire enterprise data will be available here. For example, you are working for one of the client, that entire client's data will be available in the data warehouse. So this is a location where entire enterprise data mostly available in the table or format here. On top of these tables, on top of this data, we are going to perform the analysis using the SQL. We are going to perform the analysis. We are going to perform the analysis on top of this data. So where is the data is coming from? So you are getting the data from here to data lake to the data processing to the data warehouse. And on top of this data, we are going to use a SQL language for processing it. Once you process the data, once you analyze the data, and this data can be used by the downstream people such as BI or ML or data scientist or any other business groups, right? So a very simple analogy here is that, so you have a multiple data sources. The very first thing is you extract the data and you store the data here, and you're going to process the data. Why do we have to process the data, sir? The processing is one of the important step. Right, sir? When you eat the food, you cannot directly digest it. It is not directly digestible. You have to process the food. Your body parts is going to be process the food first. Once you process the food will be converted, or the data will be converted into a more value added process. Right? So your data processing is simply a value addition process. A value addition. What you are trying to do? So your data is having some kind of issues such as null values, bad records, and all of those things. So if you try to directly go for the analysis, it will give you the inaccurate results. So that's the reason data processing is one of the important aspect for the data engineers. With the help of the data processing, you are going to clean the data. Once you clean the data, that data you're going to store it in the data warehouse, and you are going to perform the analysis here. We are going to perform what, sir? We are going to perform the analysis here. And whatever the analysis that you have done, you are going to store the data in the form of a tabular format, and this data will be useful for the downstream here. So here we have a downstream such as BI. So BI, nothing but business intelligence. They will create some kind of a reports, or they will create some kind of a dashboards, right? So such kind of reports and dashboards that they are going to create it. ML, so there is a ML engineer who create a ML model, a machine learning model. They can create it by using this particular data. And there is a data scientist who will be using this data for finding the future trend. So if you wanted to find the future trends, they are going to use this data. And there will be a business groups who will be directly using this data, for decision making purpose. So they can directly take the decisions on top of it. So this is how there can be a multiple people who are utilizing your data for properly creating a reports or dashboards, or maybe for machine learning model creation, or maybe for finding the future trends, or maybe directly taking the decisions out of it. And such a kind of a things nowadays you are looking at it. So when you go to the Amazon, recently the big billion days was happened. Amazon or a Flipkart, Amazon live sale. So these are all actually comes from these kind of a analysis only. When you analyze the data properly, you get a better results how to improve your business. It will give you some information how to improve your business, how to increase the number of sales, how to improve the customer satisfaction, or how to improve the product quality. So all of these things actually comes when you understand the data, right? So that's the reason data engineers are, you know, are highly paid nowadays. If you look at it, so data engineers are senior data engineer, junior data engineers, lead data engineer, architects, data architects. So these are all the highly paid jobs, guys. I'm telling you, people say data science, people say ML, but data engineers are the highly paid in India. I'm telling you, people come from other streams also into the data engineering, because these are very very numerous amount of opportunities are there in data engineering. So this is what we do. We extract the data, store the data, process the data, analyze the data. We send the data to the downstream for creating reports or dashboards, machine learning model creation, finding the future trends, decision making purpose. And one more thing also we will do is that is data governance and monitoring. One more important aspect is that is data governance and monitoring, making sure that your data is accurate and complete throughout the process, making sure that your data is controlled properly when it comes to the access, making sure that your data is discovered, making sure that your data is audit ready. So all of those things comes under the data governance. So data governance is also one of the important aspect coming for the data engineers. So to make sure your data is accurate, because you're moving the data from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. You're moving the data from different platforms to the different platforms. So we have to make sure that this data is accurate, and this data is complete, and this data is controlled. So all of those things actually comes under the data governance, which is also one of the important aspect. So this is what is data engineering, everyone. This chart tells you what is data engineering in a very, very simple terms, right? So you have a multiple data sources. I'll give you the time for the questions. Okay. So let's not disturb, but I'll give you the time for sure. Yeah. So you have a multiple data sources, you store it. For storing it, multiple solutions are there. For processing it, multiple frameworks are there. For warehousing, nothing but for analyzing the data, multiple data warehousing solutions are there. For creating reports and dashboards, there are multiple solutions are there. For data governance and monitoring, again there are multiple solutions are there, right? So these are all different frameworks available, different services available, different solutions available for this one. I am not telling you all of those things now. I just wanted to tell you what is data engineering. right? In our upcoming sessions, how what is data lake and how we can able to use the Google Cloud Storage as a data lake, S3 as a data lake, ADLS as a data lake. So these are multiple solutions for the data lakes. Data processing also, such as Beam framework is there, Spark framework is there, and Pandas frameworks are there. Data warehousing, you have a BigQuery, a Snowflake, you have a Redshift, you have a Synapse. So these are multiple solutions available, but solutions are different. Understanding the concept is different. Okay, we will see the concept later. But what is data engineering, sir? If you ask me, a data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data so that it can be easily used and analyzed. Easily used and analyzed. So during this process, we may be building a systems or infrastructure that allow the data to be captured, stored, processed, and accessed efficiently. Because we don't want it to manually store the data. We don't want it to manually process the data. We wanted to build the systems and infrastructure or pipelines so that it automatically capture, store, process, and analyze the data efficiently. So that's where we build the systems and pipelines. So this is what is the data. This is what is the data engineering, guys, in a very simple terms. Now anyone can understand this one. All right. Yes. And one more thing, sir, what actually the data engineer do on a daily basis? What they do, sir? If a data engineer is there, what he will do on a daily basis? If you ask me, he will be working on each and every aspect which we have seen just now, such as he will work on data ingestion. He will work on data ingestion means how he can able to extract the data from the data sources, how to ingest the data properly, and where to ingest the data properly, and how to store this data, how to manage this data, how to control this data. So all of those data storage and management. And data processing is one of the important aspect again here. How to process the data here, and making sure that the data is accurate and quality. So this is also one more important aspect here. Please mute yourself. I'm telling you guys, please mute yourself. Do not talk in between. I see. 1 minute, guys. So here, data ingestion, data process, data storage, data processing, data quality and governance, and data pipeline creations, as well as the performance optimization, one of the important aspect here, and the monitoring and maintenance. So these are all the different activities. Multiple data engineers in a project work on these different activities. Okay, so every data engineer, if you wanted to become a good data engineer, you should be having a good knowledge on each and every activity. You should know how to ingest the data, you should know how to store the data and manage the data properly, and you should know how to process the data efficiently. You should know how to make sure that your data is quality and controlled. You should know how to create a end-to-end data pipelines. You should know how to optimize your pipelines. You should know how to monitor and maintain your pipeline. So all of these things, if you know it, that is what a data engineer do on a daily basis. And if you know all of these things, that's where you're gonna go become a very good data engineer. Okay, so these are all the topics in very detail with a different other services in the Google Cloud platform we are going to see. Okay, so this is what is data engineering and a role of a data engineer. Just wanted to tell you, because you guys are going to become a GCP data engineers, you must know what is data engineering. You must know what are the roles of a data engineer. Yeah, so that's the reason I told you guys. And if anyone have any questions, please raise your hand, or please put the question in the chat box. I'm going to look at your chat box, right? So if you have any question, please raise your hand or put a question in the chat box. I'm going to read it. On a high level questions. So what is upstream here? What is downstream here? That's a good question, sir. You mentioned here what is upstream. What is downstream here? Upstream is something that where do you get the data from? Downstream is that where you are sending your data to. So those are the things called as upstream and downstream. Okay. So that's a very good question. Sir, people, when you're working in the company, you get data, right? So where do you get the data from? That particular team, I'm calling it as upstream. Application team or database team or some other team, right? So whatever, the sales team, finance team, so different teams are there. So that's what it is. All right, so we will see what is lake house. Lake house, again, here only some people use data lake or data lake house again, so we can use the lake house here. um, right, so we are going to cover everything from the basics, guys. I will talk about it, what are the topics that we are going to cover, if you give me some time. And do we have any other questions? I don't see any questions here. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat box, guys. I'm looking at the chat box now. So in this topic, we are looking at the BigQuery only, guys, for the data warehousing purpose. Yes. And I see. Sir, can you quick a different cloud? And I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. What is data governance? I was talking about it, right? Data governance is very simple. Making sure that your data is accurate and complete. See, you are getting the data from here, 100 records. Out of 100 records, how many records you are sending to here? So making sure that this data is complete, you should be having 100 records here, right? So that talks about the completeness of the data. So 100, 100, 100. So that means if any of the things that are lost here in the data ingestion process, that means 90 here, that means 10 records are lost. So that means in the data governance, you'll get to know that when you compare the data, you'll get to know that so there's a lose of the data, there's a loss of the data. Okay, so that's something that comes under the data governance. We will talk about it very clearly. Don't wanted to tell you all of these things in first day itself. To give you a high level idea, what is that we are talking about it here, I'm going to tell you. So this is what is data engineering. Now, so now that you guys know what is data engineering and a role of a data engineer on a high level, so let us try to understand about Google Cloud Platform also. What is Google Cloud Platform? And tell me, guys, do you guys know about other cloud platforms also?
Yes, sir.
So there is a Azure. Yes. Any other cloud platforms that you guys know? AWS. There's a AWS. Yes. Any other?
AWS, Alibaba Cloud,
Alibaba. Yes. That's a very good question.
Salesforce Cloud,
Oracle is there. Salesforce is there.
SAP.
IBM.
IBM is also there. So these are the different cloud platforms, isn't it? So let us stop it here, right? So there are even more, but these are the most commonly used cloud platforms. Sir, what are these? Sir, if you ask me, sir, these are all cloud providers, isn't it? So these are all cloud providers. So GCP is nothing but a Google Cloud Platform, Azure Cloud Platform, Alibaba, AWS. So these are all different cloud platforms in the market, everyone. So GCP is a one of the cloud platform, Azure is a one of the cloud platform, Alibaba, AWS, Oracle, Salesforce, and IBM. So these are the different cloud platforms in the market, everyone. Sir, what are these cloud providers will provide us? Can anyone tell me what they provide us?
They'll provide
Exactly.
infrastructure.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Yes. Very good answer. I'm gonna tell you in a professional answer that is yes. So can we call it as they provide us cloud computing services in a simple words? Sir, what are these cloud providers, sir? If you ask me, sir, Google Cloud Platform, Azure Cloud Platform, AWS, Alibaba, Oracle, Salesforce, IBM, these are all cloud providers available in the market. Sir, what they do, sir, if you ask me, they're gonna provide us cloud computing services. So what we can do with these computing services, if you ask me, with the help of these cloud computing services, one can able to store the data, one can able to process the data, one can able to analyze the data, one can able to visualize the data, one can able to govern the data, one can able to govern, one can able to take care of monitoring and maintenance. So these are all the things that we can able to as a data engineering. If you look at a data engineering projects, DE projects, so in a DE projects, we can use these cloud computing services to store the data. Do you guys agree? We can use these cloud computing services to process the data, analyze the data, visualize the data, govern the data, monitoring, maintenance, even more also. Using these cloud computing services, there can be an application team. What they can do, guys? Can you guys guess it? They, they can build the application, they can deploy the application, they can scale the application, they can monitor the application, and they can maintain the application. And what about the networking teams? What they can do, guys? So they can create a networking components. What are those components? Such as load balancers or some kind of a servers, networking servers, or yes, firewalls. And so these are all the different things that they can able to set up, right? So similarly, using these cloud computing services, what ML team can do? They can build the model, deploy the model, scale the model, register the models, right? So these are all the things. So a different teams can do a different activities according to their project requirement. So there are multiple cloud providers available in the market, guys, such as GCP, Azure, AWS, Alibaba, Oracle, Salesforce, IBM. So these are all the different cloud providers available in the market. They are going to providing you the cloud computing services. They are going to provide you the cloud computing services, and these services are very useful for every project to fulfill your project requirement. If your project requirement is, if you're working in a data engineering project, if you wanted to store the data, you can make use of the cloud computing services. We can process the data, we can analyze the data, we can visualize the data, we can govern the data also. So can you give me an example? Let us go with an example, guys. Okay, sir, for example, assume that your client has given you some 100 GB of the data, 100 terabytes of the data. There's a client for you and he given you some 100 terabytes of the data, right? 100 terabytes of data. Tell me, guys, how do you store it? He's asking you to store it. Tell me, how do you store it? Anyone? So there's a client and he's asking you to store 100 terabytes of the data. First, we will see without any cloud platform in a traditional. Assume that you do not have a cloud platform. That means a traditional methodology. How do you store the data, sir? Okay. We can store the data by creating multiple tables. Okay. Any other method? How do we store the data, sir? I am giving you 100 terabytes of the data. How do you store it? I'm asking you a simple question. Yes. Okay. Sir, we need a hard disk. Okay. Any other answers? Okay.
Data
File
center.
compress data center. Okay. So look at here, assume that you are running a company and there's a client for you and giving you 100 terabytes of the data and asking you to store it, and that's where he will pay you every day or every month. So how do you do that? How do you tackle this situation? Is that when it comes to the traditional method, you have to first to store anything, you need to have a machine to store the data, right? So that's where you purchase the machines. The very first step that you do is that you purchase the hardware. Yes or no, guys? And then on top of this hardware, you install any kind of a operating system or some kind of libraries. And you connect, if you wanted to make it as a server, you connect these hardware, you connect the hardware to make it as a machine or a server. So you connect this hardware to make it as a server, right? And then you take care of the networking also. So because you need to have a proper networking to making sure that everything is available over the network. And then you assign the storage, you assign the storage, you assign the you configure the backups, you configure the backups, you take care of the maintenance, you take care of the upgrades and patches, upgrades, patches. and monitoring, to making sure that this is running properly. Monitoring. So if you guys wanted to store some 100 terabytes of the data, you have to actually making sure that these are all the things that you have to do in a traditional. If you are working in a traditional model, first you have to purchase all the hardware or the machines, install the operating system, connect the hardware to make it as a server, networking, assign the storage, configure the backups, maintenance, upgrades, patches, and monitoring. Once everything is ready, then what we can do, sir? Then we can able to go ahead and store this data. Then we can able to go ahead and store this data. So this is how we can do this one. Tell me guys, how much time this could take? Anyone, how much time this could take? Right? So how much take this, how much money it will take? How much amount of effort it will take? Right? So when you are working in the traditional methodology, it is not only taking a lot of time here, isn't it? It is not only taking a lot of time, it will take a lot of, first thing is, the problems with the traditional methodology is that lot of time it will take, lot of money it will take, lot of effort will take, lot of effort it will take. So this is the challenge with the traditional methodology. But when you go for traditional methodology, what you're trying to do, sir, you have to build everything on your own from the scratch. You means your company or your team or your project, you have to take care of everything on your own from the scratch. So which may take a lot of time, lot of effort, lot of money, which may delay the delivery timelines also. So this is what is the traditional methodology, right? So it can take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months also, based on the hardware or purchasing and delivering all of those things, right? So what if we go for the cloud? Do we have the cloud? So that's where if you go for the cloud, what will happen, sir? So when you go for the cloud, what you have to do is that the cloud is a offering you the cloud computing services, right? So cloud will provide you the cloud computing services, cloud computing services, right? So if you go to any cloud platform, GCP, Azure, AWS, they are going to offering you the cloud computing services. Sir, what we can do? We can find a suitable service. We can find a suitable storage service. Find a suitable storage service. We have to do what, sir? Find a suitable storage service. Then we can store the data, isn't it? Then we can store this data. Tell me guys, how much time this will take? It will take few hours, or let us just take 1 or 2 days, right? So you see the difference, guys. So what is the advantage of the cloud, sir? Clouds are providing you the cloud computing services. These are very useful for the project requirement. You see, cloud providers are providing you the cloud computing services. This is one of the important aspect here. Cloud providers providing you the cloud computing services, and which are very useful for you to store the data, process the data, analyze the data. I have taken one example, that is store the data here. So the client is giving you 100 terabytes of the data. You can just take few hours itself for you to find a suitable storage service, just create a bucket and store the data there. That's it. So that's how, when you go for the cloud, you don't have to put a lot of effort, lot of money, lot of time. You don't have to do that. So you are saving the time, you are saving the money, you are saving the effort. So that's the reason. So cloud platforms or cloud providers becoming very, very in demand nowadays. So that's the reason most of the companies now migrated entire workloads from the local or traditional to the cloud. So that's the reason most of the companies nowadays, they moved from the traditional to the cloud, right? So that's the reason what they are expecting is that, so the company is expecting is that they wanted to increase the delivery time, reduce the delivery timelines, and improve the quality, and provide the proper services, so that the companies will be happy for that. So that's the reason there are multiple cloud providers. What they do is that, so they provide you the cloud computing services for your project fulfillment purpose. So that's what it is. One of such a cloud platform, sir, one of such a cloud platform is a Google cloud platform, which is our focus of interest. So what we are looking at, so this is one of the service, guys, that is what we are looking at. So Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider. The Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider. So what is GCP, sir? If you ask me, the Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, scale the applications and services in the cloud. Store the data, process the data, analyze the data, visualize the data. So this is the definition goes for every cloud platform. The definition will be the same for every cloud platform. So what is Google Cloud Platform, sir? Google Cloud Platform is a leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, scale the applications and services in the cloud. If you ask me what is Azure Cloud Platform, the definition goes the same thing. Azure Cloud Platform is also one of the leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, scale the applications and services in the cloud. The same goes for the AWS also. Okay, so these are all the cloud providers, GCP, Azure, AWS, all these are all the leading cloud providers. They provide you the cloud computing services for the organizations. They work in the different way. They were developed in different way. The main purpose or the what they provide is same. What they provide is same. So even though you and me having a different names and different behavior, but we are all humans, we all work in the similar fashion, right? So that's what we eat, all humans eat food, however everything is same. Here also the same thing, GCP, Azure and AWS, most of the things, the way that they have developed are different maybe, but the way they work is same. All of these cloud computing services are same, they work in the similar fashion, and you can compare it. We will see those things in the upcoming sessions. All right, sir, what is Google Cloud Platform, sir? If you ask me one more time, so I would say this one. So Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider that offers range of products and solutions to help the organizations to build, deploy, and scale the applications and services in the cloud platform. So that's what it is. And these services are highly reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure. So this is what. And Google is having an extensive global network and data centers also. Google has a very good data centers, guys. I'm telling you. In India also we have a data centers in New Delhi and also in Mumbai. So Google has a data centers in New Delhi as well as in Mumbai. So this is what is Google Cloud Platform, sir. Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider that offers the products and solutions to help the organization. Sir, can you tell me what are those? What are those cloud computing services GCP is offering? Sir, what are those GCP services it is offering, sir? If you ask me, GCP offering you a plenty of the services, guys, here. So it is offering you plenty of the services. Some of the services I have listed down here. Compute services, identity and security services, management services, networking services, big data services, storage and database services, and machine learning services. So Google Cloud Platform is offering you a plenty of the services. Compute services such as compute engine, app engine, container registry, cloud functions. Big data, BigQuery, cloud, data flow, data proc, PubSub, storage, cloud storage, big table. So as a data engineer, we wanted to become a data engineer. We are going to focus on this big data storage and big data services. So we wanted to become a data engineer. So this is where we are going to focus on storage and big data services. So this is where we are focusing on. All right. So this is what it is. Now that you know what is Google Cloud Platform and what are the services that the GCP is offering on a high level, you don't need to know each and every service because we are going to cover in upcoming sessions, but I will tell you the course curriculum also. You will understand. Sir, why do we have to learn the GCP, sir? If you ask me, Google has a very good community support. We all know that. And it is offering you cost effective services. The very good thing is that compared to the Azure and AWS, Google Cloud Platform services are cost effective. And these services are flexible, scalable, and reliable, and secure, and fully managed services and serverless services also it is offering. The interface is very simple and fast. So Google Cloud Platform offering you plenty of features such as the very good community support, the services are cost effective, and it is offering you a flexible services, and these services are scalable, highly scalable, and highly reliable, secure, and serverless and fully managed services also. It is very simple and the interface is very fast. I will show you. So this is what it is. And one more thing, you can also see the growth rate comparatively from the last year to this year. If you look at it, the growth rate for the Google Cloud Platform is increasing like anything compared to the AWS and Azure. You look at here, this is AWS, Azure, and GCP. So Google's growth rate is increasing like anything, right? So that means from last quarter to this quarter, the companies are choosing the Google Cloud Platform over the other cloud platforms. I'm seeing it nowadays. Some of the projects are migrated from the AWS to the GCP also because GCP is becoming very famous for data projects. So most of the companies started using the GCP for the data engineering, especially data engineering projects, because it is offering you a very, very decent services with a very decent amount of money. So that's what it is. So when companies are choosing the Google Cloud Platform, there will be a good amount of opportunities for GCP data engineers. So that is the main aim of this course, to make you a very good data engineer in this one, right? So this is all about the Google Cloud Platform, right? So we have seen what are the two things that we have completed, such as what is data engineering, and one more is that what is the Google Cloud Platform. These are the two topics that we have completed. Next, I'm going to talk about the course curriculum. And after that, I'm going to give you the time for you guys, so that if you wanted to ask any question, you can ask me. I'm going to give you the time. Allow me, sir, like 10 minutes. If you give me 10 minutes, I will give you the entire course curriculum that we are going to cover for the next 3 months. After that, if you guys have any questions, any professional questions, any personal questions, you can ask me. I'll try to help you out, and by the end of the session you will be equipped with all your questions answered. Okay, so that's what we will see. So I'm going to tell you the cloud basics, and please allow me for that. Whatever the questions, I see some of the people are posting the questions in the chat box, but I'm going to answer it. Don't worry, I'm going to answer it, all of those questions. Okay, but if you give me the time for this one, then it will be easy for you. Okay, yes. All right, so let me going to talk about the cloud basics. What we are going to, so what I have done is that I have covered our entire, I'm going to divide our entire course curriculum into two chapters. The chapter one is cloud basics. We have divided our entire curriculum into two chapters. Chapter one is cloud basics. Chapter two is nothing but our data engineering services, DE services. Right, so this is what, so we have divided our entire course curriculum into two chapters. One is cloud basics and one more is data engineering services. So what are the things that we are going to cover? What are the things that we are going to cover? Let us try to see. So first thing, as a part of the cloud basics, we are going to see the cloud overview, why we need the cloud platform, what is the difference between the on-premises versus cloud, which we are going to cover it tomorrow. After that, we are going to see the GCP introduction, why we learn GCP, opportunities and certifications. After that, we are going to see the GCP interfaces, console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK, and console walkthrough. I'm going to tell you free tier account creation, project setup, enabling the building and APIs. So, as a cloud basics, the very first chapter we are going to cover is cloud overview. And what is GCP here? This is where actual topics like GCP interfaces, what is console, what is Cloud Shell, what is SDK, what are the third party tools, what are the client libraries, we are going to see here. And as a part of the console walkthrough, I'm going to tell you how to create a free account in the GCP. GCP is offering you free account creation worth of $300 for the next 90 days. The validity of 90 days. So we are going to practice everything in this free trial account only. We are going to create this free account, guys. I will tell you how to create a free tier account in the upcoming sessions. So we are going to practice everything in this particular session, in this particular account only. So which is a $300, which is a huge amount of money, and the validity is 90 days. We can use this one for the next 90 days, for next 3 months. So this is what it is. And after that, we will also see about what is project, what is enabling the billing, the managing the APIs. And then GCP locations, what is region, what is zones, what is selection criteria, what is the importance. And then we will also talk about IAM and admin, what are identities, what are roles, what is policy, what is resource hierarchy. So as a part of the cloud basics, we are going to cover these 5 chapters, guys. These 5 modules that we are going to cover. As a part of these cloud basics, we are going to cover these 5 modules: cloud overview, GCP, interfaces, console walkthrough, locations, IAM, and admin. So these are the 5 modules as a part of the cloud basics that we are going to cover. I'm just assuming that these two are one single module only. Okay. Yes. So these 5 modules that we are going to cover as a part of the cloud basics. Once the cloud basics are completed, once the cloud basics are completed, we will be entering into the data engineering services. We will be entering into the data engineering services. When it comes to the data is classified into 3 things such as unstructured, semi-structured, and structured. For processing the unstructured data or for storing the unstructured data, we have a Google Cloud Storage. For semi-structured data, we have a big table. For structured data, OLTP, we have a Cloud SQL. For structured OLAP, we have a BigQuery. So here, 4 data engineering services that we are covering as a part of this course. For these are the storage and database services. When it comes to the GCP storage and database services, we are covering these 4 services, guys. We are covering these 4 data services, such as Google Cloud. What is Google Cloud Storage? How do we work with it? What is Bigtable? How do we work with it? What is Cloud SQL? What is BigQuery? So these things. And after that, then we are going to create pipelines. When it comes to the data pipelines, you can create a Spark and Hadoop pipelines with the help of the Dataproc, Beam pipelines with the help of the Dataflow, Cloud Free pipelines with the help of the Data Fusion, and workflow orchestration tool Airflow or Composer. And recently we have all added Lakehouse also, that is Databricks. So these are all the things that we are going to cover, guys. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here 5 data engineering services. Right, so this is all mostly about creating the data pipelines, managing your pipelines, orchestrating your pipelines. So we are going to learn about the Dataproc, Dataflow, Data Fusion, Databricks, and Airflow and Composer. So all of these topics in detail we are going to cover. And in addition to these things, for streaming data ingestion, we are going to cover the PubSub, that is 1, and the event-based solution, that is 2, cloud functions, and the infrastructure as a provision. So infrastructure provisioning, we have a Terraform, that is 3. So here we have a 3 services that we are covering. So that is 4 plus, if you combine it, 4 plus 5 plus 3 comes to 12. Total 12 data engineering services there that we are covering as a part of this course. In addition to that, as a complementary, we will also be covering the Linux basics. We are also covering the Python for data engineers. We are also covering the PySpark. We are also covering the Apache Beam. All of these programming concepts also covered, guys. So this is under programming. Under programming, we are going to cover the Linux. We are covering the Python. We are covering the PySpark and Beam also. What is missing here? Can anyone guess it? What is missing here for data engineers? SQL. So SQL is the prerequisite for this course. Basic knowledge on the prerequisite for this course, guys. Okay. So because SQL development, we are going to cover the basic knowledge on the SQL, like a create table and a delete table, DDL, DML operations, which you know, right? So those things are, that is a prerequisite for the course. So if you do not know how, I will tell you where you can learn it easily, but that's a prerequisite for the course, guys. SQL is the prerequisite for the course. So that's what it is. Right, so you have seen the detailed course curriculum and details. Coming to the details, course details, the duration of the course will be 3 months. Timings daily 1 hour will be there, Monday to Friday. The timings, what is the timing, guys? The timings is same, guys. 9:30 to 10:30, the same time every day. 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. the same time every day. This is the same time. Duration 3 months. Daily 1 hour will be there. Online live sessions only. Add-ons, you will be getting the video recordings on a daily basis. Video recordings are provided on a daily basis. Comprehensive material, I will show you the material also now. And assignments, real-time projects and case studies are covered. Interview questions, certification dumps also provided, and resume assistance. So these are all the add-ons. Video recordings are provided on a daily basis. Comprehensive material will be provided. I will show you now. Assignments, real-time projects and case studies, interview questions, certification dumps, and resume assistance will also be provided. So we have a notes, a dedicated notes for us. So this is a notes. Maybe I'll show you how the notes for you it looks like. So when you access the same notes, so let me show you how it looks like. So this is how the notes looks like for you guys. So it is a notes for you. I'm going to show you this notes, guys. So this is a notes. I'll be sharing it with you. I'll be providing the access to you once you enroll for the course. So on this notes, you will be having a course content, whatever you see the course content here. You can able to see it here, right? So cloud basics, cloud overview, introduction, GCP interfaces, GCP location, IAM and admin. Programming, Linux basics, Python for data engineers, PySpark, Apache Beam. Data engineering services. So maybe I can show you this on a very simple way, because this is a live notes for me. I can show you here. I can put an image here. So this is what it is. So cloud basics are covered. 5 modules I told you, right? So these are the 5 modules. Programming 4. Data engineering 12. Out of 12, I would like to tell you like one thing: Terraform and Bigtable. These two are, video recordings, guys, because these are not very much important for you. These are all only the recordings that will be provided. Yes. And one more thing: case studies and projects. What are the projects that we are covering, sir? How many projects that we are covering, if you ask me? So this is where two BigQuery case studies, 2 case studies and one end-to-end pipeline in the data proc, 2 case studies and one end-to-end streaming pipeline, and 4 end-to-end DAX in the Airflow, 2 case studies and one end-to-end project on the Databricks. Okay, so these are all the things will be provided to you guys as a part of this course. And if you look at this course, the course name is GCP Data Engineering. Duration will be 3 months. Daily 9:30 to 10:30, guys. The timing is 9:30 to 10:30. Okay, 9:30 to 10:30. And the recordings are provided, resume templates are provided, interview questions, certification dumps, some material also. What is that material? This one is the material. I can show you here. So whatever you are seeing here, where is that? Yeah, here it is. So this is a material. So this material will have everything. So if you look at the cloud basics, so we are covering the GCP introduction. What is the GCP introduction here? Interfaces. So multiple interfaces are here. Multiple interfaces like what is console, what is cloud shell, what is cloud SDK. Console walkthrough. In this one, I'm going to tell you how to create a free trial account, project setup, enabling all of these things. GCP locations. So here as a part of this one, we are going to see what is region, what is zone, what is selection criteria and importance. I am an admin. So you can see here, maybe it's not coming. Sir, what are identities? What are roles? Different types of roles you will be having it, predefined roles, custom roles, everything we are going to cover here. And account creation. So resource hierarchy is also here. So the images are coming a little bit late. The resource hierarchy is also here. Account creation, I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account. And we are going to interact with SDK. We are going to install the SDK also. Linux basics are here. We are going to cover the Linux basics also. All the Linux basics. Okay. Yes. And then Google Cloud Storage, the very first service. What is Google Cloud Storage? Everything is properly documented, guys. This one very easy for you to read it, very easy for you to understand it once I cover these things. What is Google Cloud Storage and how to create a bucket and nodes, and using the Cloud Shell, how do we create a bucket? And assignment is also there. So assignments are also there. What is Cloud SQL? The how do we connect it to the Cloud SQL? And the database migration. In this one, we are going to see about the database migration, guys. So here we are going to have one of the project that is database migration project. We are going to migrate the data from on-premises MySQL to the Cloud SQL MySQL. A database migration project that we are covering. In this one, what are the phases will be there? Like how many team members will be there? What is a phase one will they will do? What is a phase two they will do? All of those things we are going to cover. And database migration project here. And sample data for you to practice, and assignment also is there. So everywhere you will be having assignments. Then BigQuery also. You have a BigQuery. What is BigQuery? BigQuery's architecture, BigQuery's limitations. Working with BigQuery, different ways of creating the tables in the BigQuery, and the BigQuery supported data types, table creation statements. And the data set for your practice purpose, the sample data set also provided to you for practice purpose. Table types, two different types of tables in the BigQuery, right? Native tables and external tables. Partitioning and clustering in the BigQuery, which is a storage optimization technique. And some of the links also provided to you guys for your practice purpose. And storage optimization techniques, different types of partitions, integer, range, time unit. Clustering is also there here. And how to we create this partitioning and clustering. Working with the different types of arrays, guys. So this is one of the advanced topic in the BigQuery. How do we work with arrays, right? So we are going to take 4 scenarios, and out of these 4 scenarios we are going to cover here. And nested and repeated fields, assignment 1, case study 1, Spotify case study we are going to cover for with a medallion architecture. Here we are going to cover Spotify case study with a medallion architecture is here. And then case study 2, social media case study, and BigQuery views, right? Logical views, materialized views, and authorized views. And what is the views and what are the advantages? What is materialized view? What is authorized view? Everything is very clear here, guys. And then optimization techniques and what is a slot in the BigQuery. So all of these things are added here. And similarly, Python, I told you, right? Python will be covered. These are the 4 chapters that we are going to cover as a part of the Python. Chapter 1, data types, strings, numbers, booleans, none. Chapter 2, data structures. Chapter 3, Python programming constructions. Chapter 4, modular programming in Python. And what is data proc, right? So Hadoop and Spark introduction. What is Hadoop? What is Spark? What is data proc? How it is different from the these things? And how do we create a cluster? And what is Spark and PySpark? What is Spark? Spark ecosystem, Spark architecture, and what is PySpark also. Everything is there. Image is also there, but I don't know. It's taking some time. And PySpark lab sessions, we are going to learn about the PySpark. Then once we learn the PySpark, we will be creating a PySpark jobs. Case study 1, PySpark job. You can see here project overview. We are going to cover project 2, case study 2. So this is all, real-time projects only, which we will be incorporating the data validations, data transformations, or logging and monitoring, error handling. So all of these things we are going to implement in our pipelines. Case study 3. This is for machine learning case study. So this is where one more thing also. And there are again assignments. You will be having assignments. Similarly, you have a data flow also. So what is data flow? How it is different from the data proc? What is the difference between the Spark and data proc and data flow, Apache Spark and Apache Beam? How do we create the pipelines in the PySpark? How do we create the pipelines with Apache Beam? Everything in a very detail. Lab sessions to learn the Apache Beam. Here we will be having a lab session. So the lab session notebooks are here, right? You see the lab session notebooks here. Sample data set for your practice purpose. Case study 1, assignment 1, case study template method of creating the pipelines. Case study 2, streaming pipeline. This is a streaming pipeline. And that's it. And again, PubSub. What is PubSub? PubSub architecture, how it works. Airflow. What is Airflow? What is Composer? What is workflow orchestration? Our Airflow architecture. What is DAG? How to create a DAG? And cron job format. Level 1 DAG for processing the BigQuery jobs. Level 2 DAG for processing the data proc jobs. You see, whenever we have a lab, we will be having the files here, notebooks here, code files. Level 3 for data flow jobs. Level 4 is for parent and child relationship. And level 5 is an assignment for you and implementing a CI/CD with the help of the Airflow. Implementing a CI/CD with the help of the Airflow, this is again an additional complementary topic. So everything is here, guys. Everything is here. And data fusion, I told you this is a complementary. End-to-end pipeline is there for complementary video. And functions, what is cloud function? And use case 1. Right? So there's a use case 1. And assignment also is there. And then cloud functions, we are going to cover the Databricks. I told you, right? So Databricks is also covered. So what is the Databricks? Databricks introduction. What is Lakehouse architecture here? Difference between the data warehouse, data lake, and data lakehouse. And Lakehouse platform, Spark on Databricks, Databricks file system. Databricks architecture is here, high level architecture. How to create a Databricks on top of the GCP, free trial on Databricks on GCP. Setting up the Databricks workspace, Databricks cluster, Databricks UC Metastore. What is Databricks dictionary? You have an exam for you to understand this one. Lab sessions, we have it here. What are clusters? Different types of clusters. To create a cluster, what we have to do? Different access modes. Notebooks. What are the notebooks and the features of the Databricks notebooks? Databricks DB utility commands. Unity catalog. What is Unity catalog? Which is one of the advanced topic here. What is Unity catalog without happening? See, because I'm working in the Databricks, guys, I'm telling you. I'm working in the Databricks. I have worked on more than 20 projects for Databricks itself. For recently, I worked for Swiggy. Recently, I worked for Mahindra and Mahindra in India. Right? These are the projects for India. Right. So these are some of the projects recently. Currently, I'm working for one of the project, which is also one of the major project, not disclosed. And delta tables. What are delta tables? Types of delta tables, and what happens when you create a delta table? Time travel features and data frames and operations. Structured streaming, and what is structured streaming in the Databricks? What is autoloader in the Databricks? And end-to-end workflow here we are going to cover. End-to-end Databricks project for free. I'm going to tell you how to create that project also. So this is what. And a complementary, I told you, right? There will be a Terraform will be there. What is Terraform? There's a video for a complementary. There will be a video. And end-to-end pipeline for project 2. There's one of the pipeline which I've created for free. You can go ahead and do that. So this is also one more thing. So these are all the things which we are going to cover. And finally, we have an interview tab. In this interview tab, so resume template. So this is the community, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask the community. And resume templates for you to prepare your resumes. Interview introduction. When you're going for an interview, how do you tell your interview introduction? How do we explain the project 1? Right? If you people find it difficulty explaining, sir, how to explain my project. So this is how you can explain your project. Project architecture, project 2, and project architecture. Data engineering theoretical questions, commonly asked theoretical questions here, topic wise. Commonly asked SQL questions, commonly asked Python coding questions, PySpark questions, manage a round of questions, certification dumps also. Everything is here, guys. Everything is here. You can see. I'm going to just showcase this one. So here we have everything, guys. The only thing that change here is that 9:30 to 10:30, guys. So that's the only change I can say. The timing is 9:30 to 10:30. I just wanted to update it. Now, please raise your hand if anyone have any questions. I'm gonna answer it, guys. I have told you everything I wanted to tell you. 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. The same time, current time only. Yes. Tell me, guys, if anyone have any questions, please. Please raise your hand. We will talk about it. Right. Please raise your hand, guys. Do not just talk, okay? I'm going to give you the time. So, 2 sessions. I just wanted to tell you. At present, 2 Zoom sessions are going on at the same time. 2 Zoom sessions. Some people are here, some people are there. We forgot to actually combine it and we couldn't manage it properly. So that's the reason 2 Zoom sessions are going on at the same time. So I want you guys to help me in this particular demo session only. After that, once the regular session starts, it will be combined. I want you guys to please raise your hand if you have any question. I'm going to give you the time so that you can directly, I'm going to call your name and ask your question and I'll try to answer it. Okay, here itself. Now, please raise your hand. I'm going to come one by one. Yes, Vineet, you have any question, please? Vineet. When it comes, yes, the question is, sir, how GCP is different from Azure? When it comes to the tech stack, there isn't any difference. But when it comes to the opportunities, yes. Okay, sir, I would like to answer this question like this one, right? When it comes to the offering, what is GCP is offering, what is Azure is offering, right? The offering of services. Okay, if you ask me such that, I would say there's no much difference. No much difference, because I would say because Azure is quite old and the GCP is new. That's the only difference I can say. But when it comes to the opportunities, I would say one thing, right? So when we say opportunities, getting the job in Azure is quite a difficult because there's a huge competition. You will look at outside and there's a huge competition. But for the GCP, as it is new and most of the companies are hiring now, so competition is less, so that the getting the job becomes easy. So easy to here, very little bit difficult, right? Because when you go for interview, what will happen? The one who already have a very good knowledge in the Azure will come. So that's the reason there's a very good huge competition will be there. Difficult to get job when it comes to the job here. Okay, but it's easy for you to get it. So this is a, but when it comes to the offering of the services, so if I combine it, so the services wise both are same. Okay, yes, even GCP is offering you more. Okay, if you ask me one more thing also, I can say that for data projects, especially for data engineering projects, GCP is very offering you very good amount of services. So this is the reason very demand. So there's for GCP when it comes to the data projects. So GCP is in very good demand because the offerings are very good. Azure is very good for AWS kind of a thing. Sorry, Azure or AWS. So Azure is very famous for DevOps projects mainly, but GCP is very famous for the data engineering projects. So that's the reason. So you can see here, most of the companies started using the GCP because numerous amount of projects are there for GCP. Okay. Yes. Yes. And yes, Chandra, you have any question? Chandra's wine. Sorry. Yes, please. Yes, you are audible. Good evening. Yes, please. Mm-hmm. No. So two things I'll tell you. See, Google Cloud Platform, Azure Cloud Platform, AWS Cloud Platform. These are platforms. Okay, these are just different platforms. On top of the platform, we are going to do the data engineering activity. Okay, so that's what it is. And not all the services I've just shown you, right? What are the services that I'm going to cover? Those are the things that we are going to cover here. So these are the, this is a course curriculum. Whatever here, whatever you see here, we will be covering these things. Okay. Yes, perfect. Yes. I was just talking about it, right? So GCP is offering a very good of data engineering services. So that's the reason most of the companies using the GCP for data engineering projects, because the number of services like Dataproc, Dataflow, big data services are like Dataproc, Dataflow, BigQuery, PubSub. So these are all very good services, Airflow, right? So that's the reason company started. Again, one more thing is the services are cost effective. Why GCP, sir? If you ask me, the services are cost effective compared to the other services, cost effective services, okay, compared to other cloud platforms. All right. Yes. Okay, so thank you. um I see. Yes, Manikandan, you have any question? Manikandan, yes please. You cannot call your name, sorry. Yes please. Of course. Apache Spark, yes, in detail. in detail, but not Hadoop because Hadoop is an old technology. Okay, so Hadoop, no, I would say. I don't give you any false hope. Hadoop, no, because it's a old tech. No one is using in the companies. Okay, and yes, these are integrated. Apache Spark is, we are going to integrate it with the BigQuery. We are going to read it from, write it there. Yes. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Rikesh, you have any question? Rikesh, am I calling your name correctly? Yes, please, Rikesh. You have any question? Okay. Exactly. Yes, sir. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's what I'm saying. When you compare the GCP services with other platforms, right? So GCP is offering you cost-effective services comparatively. Yes. Okay. The same thing which I have mentioned here. Yes. Yes, Ajay Singh, you have any question? Yes, please. Of course. Huh, it's mentioned. You might have seen in the thing, right? Yes, of course. Okay, I think I've opened here. Of course, right? So if you go to the BigQuery, you go to the working, and that's a very first topic in the BigQuery, BigQuery's architecture. Okay. Yes, of course. Mm. No, no, this is data engineering. Okay, no AI tools, no ML tools, no. Okay, no ML, no AI covering. No. Yes. Yes, Vijay. Vijay Nagare, you have any question? Yes, please. The timings is. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No. No, no, 40. It means actually the 45 hours, okay? And that means it goes up to 3 months, yes. Because this is a huge content. If I try to compress it to less number of days, I can do it. Okay, I can do it. That's not a problem. But digesting it, it will take a very hard for you because once you started digesting it, a lot of things in a very less time, it will be very difficult for you to get it everything. Okay, so that's the reason. Yeah. Huh. Mm, actually, no. This the duration of the course will be 3 months only, guys. Yes. Sure. No, no, no. The access will be provided to you. All the access will be provided to you once you enroll. Okay. Yeah. It will be available. Material will be available for lifetime. Video recordings are 1 year validity. Okay. So when it comes to the access, guys, the material will be lifetime access. Whatever I have told you, that's with me because I'm going to provide you the access. The same thing, but video recordings, your management team will only provide you the 1 year because so after 1 year we may be changing a lot of things also. So that's the reason video recordings will be 1 year validity. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Anand Chaturvedi, you have any question? Do not ask me the same questions, guys. Okay. Yes. Yes, please. Right. Three months, Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. I may be giving you some kind of assignments. Yes. It will be around, if you ask me, around 54, 55 hours. Around 55. It could be 53, 54, 55. Around 50 hours, I would say 50 plus hours. Okay. The entire sessions will be 50 plus hours. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. The same question is right. All right. Yep. 1 minute. 1 minute. Do not ask. Okay. I'm going to give you the time. Yes, Ashok. Ashok Mantena, you have any question? Mm-hmm. Not very much. See, in a project, those are all the things will be there. Okay, so every project will have CI/CD. Every project they will be using some repos, GitLab, GitHub. But the thing is that what do you do? 95% of your work we are going to cover here. Rest of the 5% of the work we are not going to do because there will be a CI/CD DevOps engineer will be there. They will handle it, but you have to understand those practices, right? So such a kind of a things you will be having it. But your work is 95% of a work is data engineering. We are going to cover that. Rest of the 5% of the work, like how they are building that infrastructure, what is the configuration for them, you are going to learn it there itself directly. Okay. Yes. So we will be focusing on mainly on the data engineering guys, so not on the DevOps, but to give you some knowledge, right? So I've added how those things will work actually. If you remember, I'm implementing a CI/CD here. So there's this CI/CD, how this will actually happen with the repo, cloud build, how it will be deployed. So that gives you the knowledge. Okay. Yes. Yes. DBD is not covered. Kafka is nothing but PubSub. PubSub is covered here. Okay, Kafka and PubSub both are same. Kafka is a on-prem services, and equivalent services equals to PubSub in the Google Cloud Platform. If you learn PubSub, if you learn Kafka, both are same. Yes, yes, yes. Venugopal, you have any question, Venugopal? Yes, please. Thank you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, actually, you that thing as a, it doesn't matter at all actually. Okay, so even though when you are creating some kind of a pipeline, you don't actually run your pipeline on an entire data at all. You never do that. So if you're doing it while you're developing it, your manager will throw you away first thing. Okay, we never ever actually develop anything while you're implementing some code, implementing some pipeline. We never apply on any of the high data. We always limit our data to some 100 records or 1000 records while we are developing it. So that's how we learn it here also. And if it is working on this 1000 records or 100 records, it will be the same thing. It will work. The only the time changes, right? The same code is same. Yeah. Not 100 and 1000, right? It would be more. Okay. Some 20,000, 30,000, 1 lakh records also. But I'm, of course. Hmm. No, that's how the clusters manage it. Right? There are examples how do you have to deal with it, but I'm telling you, the thing is that while you're developing it, you don't face such a kind of a things. Okay, because you always develop on some small amount of a data. You will try to run it on your entire data once your pipeline is running. While your pipeline is running, the thing is that your cluster will be more, so that's the reason it will take lesser time. So that's how it will be dealing, but for sure such kind of things will be handled. Okay, I'll cover it is there in the course already. Okay, covered. Yes, yes. And yes, Lakshmi, you have any question? Lakshmi K, you have any question? Yes, please. Actually, yes. Yeah, no, no, no. Actually, how it works is that when I'm covering the BigQuery, I'll cover the Spotify case study itself. How do you work in the BigQuery? It's covered here itself. Like not for every service. For example, for Dataproc, when you load the PySpark, however you create a Dataproc PySpark job in the company, that will be covered here itself. Okay, so that's how on a service level, on a big data service level, not for every service. For example, BigQuery, most of the time we will be creating some kind of a case studies and the projects in the BigQuery. How do you actually work in the BigQuery? How do we actually work in the data proc? It will be covered here itself. Okay, so you can see here. Yes. Actually, we are using in this particular project, we are actually using cloud logging. This is one of the service called Google Cloud Logging, which is to track your pipeline steps. No, actually. So, no. When actually, even though the companies also always they use the internal services in the Google Cloud platform instead of integrating with other cloud platforms. But even in the course also, we will be, but not covered here. Only the internal services in the Google Cloud platform. Yes. Okay. Yes. And the next question will be for yes, Alan Rose. You have any question? Alan Rose, you have any question, please? I can't hear you. Sorry. Are you talking? No, still not can't hear you. Please put your question in the chat box. And this is Sangram Chowdhury, right? So why I'm not able to listen to what other people? That's what I told you, right? Two Zoom sessions are happening because we had done a small mistake actually that I cannot do it. So usually it never happens. What happened is that we created one session, one Zoom session for in some promotions. In some promotions we have used one Zoom session. That's a big problem that we had done. So that's the reason you cannot be able to. You can unmute. Yes. Can you unmute? Sangram Chowdhury, you have any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please tell me.
Sir, are you going to cover cloud function, cloud composer, and data flow?
It's mentioned, right? Of course. It's mentioned here.
I
Cloud
think I
function
have
is
missed
it's their cloud function, it's their data flow, it's their airflow. Which one it is? PubSub.
cloud composer.
Cloud composer is nothing but airflow.
Okay, okay, got it, sir.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
Can
yes,
thank
someone
you.
hear me now?
yes. Thank you. Um, who is that? Who is that? I'll give you the time. Please raise your hand.
This
Yes,
is Alan.
yes, Alan. Yes, please.
Yes, I was asking if we also gonna have to work with GitHub and our projects
Mm-hmm.
because personally I may have to establish a kind of portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure, sure,
I
sure.
would like to know if we have to work on GitHub as well. Okay,
You
good, good,
will
good.
be in the company. You will be working on it for sure. In the for a project repo code, how you will be having it? Some kind of idea will be covering in this particular thing. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. 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 And yes, Supriya, you have any question, Supriya?
Hi.
Yes,
I
please.
have question regarding the Databricks. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
used Azure for
Mm-hmm.
Databricks like ADB,
Same.
ADF, and ADLS. So,
Mm-hmm.
is it same in same used in GCP?
Yes, exactly. Databricks is same. See, the Databricks tool is same, but it is deployed in GCP. You will, but some of the small changes will be there that we will be covering here. You will get to know. Okay, but
So, we are
mostly it is
using
same.
all components like a Databricks, ADB, ADF,
No,
and ADLS.
no, 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 not like that. Databricks is actually a third-party tool which can be actually having some kind of a business with Azure, AWS, and GCP. So that's the reason Databricks is deployed on top of these cloud platforms. So that's the reason it is same. But ADB is different. It is internal to the Azure only, ADF. But in the similar to the ADF, you will be having a services like Airflow and data fusion and data flow. These are the different services in the GCP that we will be covering. Okay, services are
Okay,
different. Yes, compared to the
okay,
cloud
okay.
platform. Yes,
Okay, because the ADB we are running for the pipeline triggering.
correct.
So that's what I
Such
thought
kind
in
of a
GCP.
pipeline triggering is there in the Airflow here. Okay, that's the same thing. Orchestration.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, got it.
yes, yes.
One more question, Terraform, how we are covering it is a DevOps tool, Terraform. It's a
Huh.
ISC.
Basics of the Terraform is covered. It's a ISC tool, but some of the companies in the data engineers they need some basic knowledge on the Terraform, right? For data engineers. So that's 1 hour session will be there. There you will be understanding what is Terraform, how you can able to use the Terraform, and everything will be covered here. Okay.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, Raghav, you have any question? Raghav Prasad.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Actually, I have two questions. One is related. So, I have 5 years of experience in this. How can I manage this GCP role with experience? How many
So
years can
yes,
I?
yes, for 5 years, 2 years, or any years of experience, I just wanted to tell you a small chart. We have it here. I think I should put it up here. This will be easy for you to tackle for all the people, guys. This is not only for Raghav Prasad. This is for all the people. I'm just telling you. So whoever you are, right? So just look at your experience. Here you have experience levels. Look at this experience. For example, sir, I am having, what is this? So you are having 2 years or 3 years or 7 years or 9 years or 10 years, right? If you have any years of experience, for example, you have a 5 years of experience. You have to prepare your resume for last 2 years on the GCP, rest of the 3 years as your current experience, and go for applying for companies and interviews. Okay. So last 2 years on the GCP, because last 2 years, however, the knowledge that you require, right? I'm covering in the course itself, right? You can
Oh,
comfortably go for an interview like that. So that's how, even though you have 3 years also the same thing, 1 year also, 7 years also, 2.5 years, 9 years, 11 years. So this is how you have to manage it. Okay.
okay, sir. And
Yes.
one more question. Actually, SQL. So you told SQL is a prerequisite thing, right?
Yes.
So whether you will provide any kind of videos to learn on that part,
I'll help
or
you. I'll tell you where you have to learn it and how you have to learn it. The SQL, guys. All right. So some of the people, if you do not know the SQL, don't worry. Okay. If you do not know the SQL, you don't have to worry. I'll tell you how do you have to learn, how and where you have to learn it. I will tell you. Just let me know when we actually start the regular sessions on Monday. Okay. I'll tell you on Monday. Yes.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Abhishek, you have any question? Abhishek, you have any question? Oh, okay. So if you do not have any question, that's fine. Um, Ramesh Narasingu, you have any question? Ramesh, yes, please. No, we don't create any applications for data engineers. Okay, we create pipelines. We deploy them directly. Okay. Yeah, it is in the GCP only. It will be in the GCP only. For example, you are creating one pipeline. You will be deploying on top of the data proc or data flow or airflow or such kind of things, right? So that's how there it will be running there. Yes. Yes. So that's how. Okay. Yes. And yes, Venkatesh Penumarti, you have any question?
Yes. In
Yes, please.
Airflow, how to create the DAGs and variables?
Those things will be covered. You want me to tell you the answer now itself? That will be covered. Okay. So we will be creating the DAGs and
And,
all the
how to
variables
deploy
and all.
the code in the gate? Can you cover these topics?
That's already there, right? I just shown you, right? Just now. CSC implementing CI/CD and the Airflow itself. We are deploying it to the Cloud Composer. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. All right. So I see. Yes, Ram M. Ram M. You have any question? Yes, please. Of course. Yes. Yes. Right. So you should know the SQL language, Python and PySpark, which we are going to cover, right? So don't worry about that. Yes. No, at the beginning itself, when we actually at the character time. So for example, you are going to work on data proc. So you need to know the Python. So before that itself, the Python will be covered. I think mostly Python will be covered at the beginning stages itself. Yes. 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 Python will be covered. PySpark. These are all the things are important. We are going to create the pipelines with them itself. Okay. Yes. Not master. Not master. You need to have a medium knowledge on each of these coding levels. But if you know it, that's more than enough. Nowadays, coding is not that much important. Look at it, right? The logics are important, right? Because codings, you have plenty of the, AI tools came into the picture that will help you to write the code. Okay. Yes. But you know to know what you have to do and how you have to achieve it. Yes. Yeah, we are covering Spark. Hadoop is not that much important at all nowadays. It's an old architecture. We are covering the Spark. Yes. Okay. So can I put 2+ years of experience? Yes. According to this particular thing, you can put any years of experience, guys. If you have 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you can put 2+ also, 3+ also. Everything is covered here. Okay. Yes. Um, any other questions? Yes, Ajay Singh, you have any question? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll tell you. No worries. I'll tell you. Yeah. Yeah. So usually what happens is that when you are working in a GCP data engineering or GCP lead roles, you are not actually the lead in most of the companies, in service-based companies. You should be putting a lot of development effort also there. Okay. So if you wanted to put a lot of effort, right, you need to know the good tools. I'm not sure what are the services that they are using. So in our course, we will be covering all the services so that it will be very easy for you once you actually onboarded to the project. It will be helping for you to, understand how you can able to do it, what you can do it. Either mostly you might be having some of the knowledge on SQL, Python, and PySpark, but how this can be used in the GCP, we are going to cover it. Yes. Mhm. After the course, you should be able to. Okay, that's what I'm saying. After that, for sure, you will be able to do it. So it's already proven by more than 800 people. Okay, currently most of the people's at very beginning you will be little bit struggle will be there. I'm not gonna fake it. I'm gonna tell you honestly that at the beginning of every project, whether you already worked in the same era, whether you already worked in the same domain, same project, at a very beginning there will be a struggle of at least 2 to 3 weeks. After that, if you know the everything from the basics to advanced, you will be able to work comfortably. Okay. Yes. Yes, Dhananjay Hawal, you have any question, Dhananjay? There is, yes, there is. That's what. There is this project. Yes. It will be there. Yes, there is one of the end-to-end project here that I will talk about Databricks, everything, workflow, entire workflow, which we'll be covering here. I'll talk about that. Yes. There's a Databricks end-to-end project. And you are going to be very happy after looking at the project because I put a lot of effort with this particular project. Yes. And any other questions? That's great. Yeah, thank you for that. Yes. Um, I see. Yes, Arindam Singha, you have any question, Arindam?
Yeah, so
Yes.
I have one question that is
Mhm.
whatever development we do, that will be in the lower environment. So
Yes.
like in the interviews they will ask, right, how you are migrating to the higher environments. I
Yes.
mean the CI/CD or deployment process. So
Mostly it is CI/CD. and you don't have to tell them everything because you do not know it. No one knows. Even only the DevOps engineer knows how they are managing it. But I'll tell you how you can able to answer those things because we are covering such kind of a CI/CD in the Airflow. Okay, how you can
Okay.
able to deploy them. Yes, I'll tell you.
Okay. Okay.
And in this particular project also, it is actually dev and the prod environments were used, and you can actually in this particular project also you'll get to know how you'll be able to
Okay.
manage the environments.
Yeah, the thing is that like when the development we are doing and when we are done testing, I mean unit
Yes,
testing is done, it is
yes,
working properly, then
yes.
developer will only deploy it to the next level, right? To the UAT or testing
No, no,
environments.
not developer at all. Not developer at all. It will be your code should be you have to develop it. The developer should develop a code in such a way that it should work in any environment. But the
Yeah.
deployment should be done by the
Yeah.
DevOps engineers. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So from dev to the UAT also, the DevOps
Everything.
guys will only do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The code changes you have to do it, but rest of the things they have to do it. Yes.
Yeah, like we will put it to the Git main repository,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
From there they
Exactly.
will take the code. So that thing is covered, like how we are putting it to the main repository.
Yes.
Okay,
That will be
thank you.
covered. You will get to know it. Yes. Even more better. Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yes, Sheikh Abu Bakar. You have any question?
Hello, can you check your chat box once?
Let me check. So there's a question from yes, 3 months is enough to finish this course. Yes, 3 months is more than enough for you. Some people say three, so 3 months is more time. Some people say is this 3 months is enough. I'm telling you, it is more than enough for you to complete the course. I cannot reduce it. I cannot increase it. Yes. So after 3 years, you can put according to this particular chart. You can put any years according to your experience. If you are 5 years, 7 years, so maximum, I suggest you to go with a maximum of 3 years. Okay. Yes. So that's something that you can put it. All right. And any other questions, sir?
Can you,
Sir, already have a 4 years of experience, ERP. So whatever the experience, whether you are a ERP developer or whether you are a DevOps or you are working on a support roles, you are working in a testing background, guys. I'm telling you, this is a common question. People coming from different backgrounds. Sir, I'm working on a support work role, or I'm working in a testing background. I'm working as a, you know, cloud engineer, or I'm working as a cloud engineer. I'm coming from non-IT. So whatever you are, I'm telling you, if you have a time, if you are able to spend some time to learn, I'm telling you, I'll be able to make you a GCP data engineer. So many people are already done that. So I'm gonna make you GCP data engineer. The only thing is that you should put effort to learn. So this is what is something that you have to do.
any placement support?
Not in no placement supports. We're not doing it. Resume and interview questions only offered. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, Anand Chaturvedi, you have any question? I think you have asked me the question. I'm not sure, but if you have any question, you can ask me. Yes, please. Right. Uh-huh. Hmm. Integration with Vertex AI, you mean to say, right? I I cannot actually create an entire project, but I'll show you how you can able to integrate with Vertex AI. Okay. So that's actually, it's not easy. Okay. So I worked on it. I worked on personally on the Vertex AI, not with a bigger integration, but with the GCS integration. We have done it, but that actually takes a lot of time because if I started looking at, but I'll tell you where you can learn it maybe in the things, right? Okay. Yes. Because for one of the corporate when I was teaching with BigQuery ML, when I was teaching ML concepts, that's where we have covered that. But I'll tell you, I'll give you some inputs. Okay. Yes. Sure. Thank you. Yes, I think most of the questions were answered, right? Does anyone have any other questions, guys, from anyone? I tried to answer most of the questions, guys. I'm really sorry, which you are not able to hear another people questions. It's because that we have two Zoom sessions. It's for these 2 days only. After that, when the regular session starts, everything will be combined, so you don't have to face such a kind of issues. So that is something that, and so we have seen all the things, guys, as a part of this course, right? If you remember, so we have covered what is data engineering, what is Google Cloud Platform, what is the course curriculum, everything I have covered. Please connect with our admins if you have any questions. If you wanted to talk with me personally also, you can connect with our admins. Okay. Yes. So this is what we have covered, guys, today. As a
Yeah.
part of this agenda, we have covered about data engineering, Google Cloud Platform, detailed course curriculum, and course details also. Okay. Yes. Anyone have any questions? Please raise your hand before
Yes,
we
yes.
wind up the session. Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if I delete the table, how can I retrieve that? We are using the time travel.
We can use time travel feature. Yes.
Can I learn this in this course?
Of course. I'll tell you. That's a one simple 1 minute. I'll tell you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. If you delete a table in the BigQuery, you can use the time travel feature to restore the table. Yes. I'll show you that option. Yes. 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes, like not more than that. Yes. Okay. Sure. Okay. So after this course, you will be ready for the interviews, guys. I'm going to say one of the people were asking that. Sir, after this course, you will be ready for interview. So how soon you will be able to comfortable with this course after the course? You are that much soon to get the job. Okay. So you don't have to wait anything any further. If you practice on a daily basis, you will be ready directly for the interviews. You prepare resume, put it in on Naukri or LinkedIn, just get the job. Get the good number of calls. There's a very good number of calls for the GCP data engineers currently. You can make use of that. Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you all. Have a great day. And just wanted to tell you that we have completed our first demo session today. There's a demo 2 happening tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Demo 2 at the same time tomorrow. All right. Yes. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. We will meet in the next session. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.